I have a puzzle for you, and I believe the Lord has recently revealed its solution. It will be easy to show you the solution once you understand the pieces. The pieces consist of facts about my son and about my 6936 vision. Ingvar Auki Newbrander. And no, that's not a pseudonym, that is his actual name. He is our only son, and was born alive and then died just minutes later on March 26, 2020. The date, 326, is a clear nod to Strong's G326, which means to recover life. He was a man-child, literally born to be caught up unto God, like the man-child of Revelation 12:5. So we think of him as our rapture baby. Also, it is important to know that he was born quite premature. His due date was June 11, 2020. As for my 6936 vision, it is the only vision I have ever been given while fully awake. In the vision, I saw a large, heavily emphasized 69, and then briefly looked away from it, and when I looked back, I saw in its place a less emphasized 36. That is all. I received this vision on August 26, 2023. Ever since 2024, I've known that my 6936 vision is supernaturally related to Ingvar, my son. There are two big reasons for this. The first is a deep timing structure which cannot possibly be coincidence. 3,669 hours after the beginning of Ingvar's birthday is the beginning of the date on which I was given the 6936 vision. Then, exactly 6,936 hours later brings us to the beginning of the anniversary of Ingvar's due date. Another 6,936 hours later brings us full circle, to the end of his birthday. What are the chances, right? And then, the second reason is on November 3, 2024, exactly 69 days after the anniversary of my 6936 vision, I was given a God dream in which Astrid and I left baby Ingvar atop Mount Zion and then found ourselves escaping a flood in our flight back to Ingvar and Zion. In considering what the dream meant, I came upon the fact that the only chapter 69 in the Bible has a total of just 36 verses. And just look at the beginning and end of this chapter, Psalm 69. Here's the first and second verses. Save me, O God, for the waters are come in unto my soul. I sink in deep mire, where there is no standing. I am come into deep waters, where the floods overflow me. And the last two verses, 35 and 36, say, For God will save Zion, and will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there, and have it in possession. The seed also of his servants shall inherit it, and they that love his name shall dwell therein. Ingvar is certainly the seed of God's servants, and in my dream he was in Mount Zion, and we were fleeing the flood on our way back to him in Zion. Clearly, my November 3 dream about Ingvar was based on Psalm 69, which has 36 verses. So Astrid and I have long wondered about just why the topics of our son Ingvar and my 6936 vision are so supernaturally intertwined. This has deeply puzzled us. But we believe the Lord gave us a puzzle because he was going to give us the solution. Now, when I had the vision, I had a knowing that these numbers pointed somehow to the specific time of the rapture. So I've known that, and actually I can back that up biblically. When you look in the Bible, there's only one chapter, 69, in all of Scripture. And that chapter has exactly 36 verses. And furthermore, this chapter, Psalm 69, is a prayer for divine rescue from a flood. Well, that sounds like the rapture, right? So I have considered many possibilities about 69, 36, and actually God has used many of them, I believe, in my journey of watching for the rapture, this multi-step treasure hunt for the rapture, right? But I think this is the most elegant I've ever seen, the most obvious I've ever seen, and it's something that God clued me to just yesterday after I woke from a nap. It's not hard. I received the vision on Elul 9 in 2023. August 26 was Elul 9, or 6-9, because Elul is the 6th Hebrew month. So what does this vision point forward to? Clearly, 3-6, right? Sivan 6. Sivan is the 3rd Hebrew month, in the same way of considering the Hebrew calendar. Is there anything interesting about Sivan 6? Yes, it's Shavuot. My 6936 vision is actually two witnesses of the same date. This is because there are actually two Hebrew calendars, the civil and the religious, and they have different start months. So you have Tishri being the first month in the civil calendar, and you have Nisan being the first month in the religious calendar. So that means that Sivan 6 is actually the sixth day of the ninth month, and it is also the third month, sixth day. So that's just incredible, guys. If you pair that understanding with what I said in the last video, you see a double witness of how God is definitely pointing me forward to Sivan 6. And this year, when we read here in Deuteronomy 16, the command, we just see that as soon as you get back from observing unleavened bread and start to harvest, 7 weeks later, you are to observe Shavuot. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're watching June 12. June 12 is exactly 7 weeks after Nisan 22, the day after the festival Sabbath. Guys, the Hebrew date we're watching, most of which falls on June 12, begins at sundown on June 11, the very due date of Ingvar, my son. And this year specifically, that day, June 11, happens to be, as commonly reckoned, Sivan 26, 326, the clearest nod you could imagine to March 26, Ingvar's birthday.